The price of Bitcoin right now is $88,000. Bitcoin's price closed the CME gap. Things are starting to look up. Even the Winklevoss twins saying today that Bitcoin will reach $1 million in the next 5 years. Now, you know me, past few days, I've been very bullish, like buy the dip, like this is a really good opportunity. Meanwhile, there's been a lot of drama going on with MicroStrategy because JP Morgan basically just initiated a war with MicroStrategy by, I'll explain it in today's video. The whole of Twitter is kind of like just talking about this war that's going on. And we'll go through a bit of this post as well, which explains a bit of the crisis. But I honestly wouldn't be majorly concerned by that crisis, and instead I look at this as opportunity. I think we are quite high in the range for the day, to be honest. I kind of don't think it's that likely that we continue to rise up right now. Makes sense, bit more consolidation in this range, you know, and then inevitably that part. But we'll get on to analyzing the prices as well in today's video. Before we do, I love it when people press the like button, because honestly it makes these videos worthwhile watching, because there's not a lot of financial compensation for making videos. It's more of a labor of love, and I do love making videos for everyone on the internet, so I really appreciate it if you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get 1 billion likes. I know it's not possible, but we can at least try. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice, investment advice, or any form of recommendation. But anyway, like everything's bumping today. It's a very good day. Nicest thing about all of this is we were in positions. So like I've been talking a lot about the $10,000 to $1 million trading challenge recently, and that today has taken a huge lump upwards because we've talked about this. And I have my take profits set up here at $3,019. I explained this in yesterday's video. We're getting a bit closer to it today. So now they're setting what, $18,000 in a profit. It's not even a big trade. It's a $205,000 trade, which for me, like $10,000 leveraged 20x. We're up 20 grand on it. It's doing pretty good. And when that reaches 20, the take profit will trigger pretty much. We'll be at $30,000 on the $10,000 to $1 million trading challenge. And then we're starting again. I'm going to take the 20. I've got 2 more bullets to have another go. So if you want to get involved in the $10,000 to $1 million trading challenge, you actually still have time. Go to Crypto Saving Expert. Use the discount code in the video description. The way it works is you go through, you sign up to Crypto Saving Expert, you pick your plan, you go through to the monthly thing, you use the discount code. It makes it way cheaper than the prices that you see on the screen. You get access to the world's best educational content, as well as, of course, a man called me posting you his direct trades, and I'm quite a profitable trader. But back to the news. MicroStrategy. Drama. What in the world is going on?
I just want to ask you about the JP Morgan report that came out this morning warning that strategy could be excluded from benchmarks like NASDAQ, MSCI, and it could trigger an estimated $2.8 billion in automatic outflows. That's just from the MSCI alone. What's your response to that?
I think it's a bit alarmist. I'm not so sure the numbers are nearly that high. I think actually the numbers would be much smaller. I also think it's already priced into the market by a factor of 10 if you count it. I don't think there's any relationship between the decision-making of MSCI and the NASDAQ 100 or the S&P 500 index.
You see, the core problem that Michael Saylor's got, and he kind of explained a little bit there, is this agency called MSCI, and the MSCI announcement was the spark, but what followed is what changed the entire structure of the market. MSCI introduced a proposal on October the 10th that could exclude companies holding 50% or more of their assets in Bitcoin or digital assets from its global indexes. This directly puts companies like Strategy at risk, because if MSCI reclassifies them as index funds, they are forced to sell not by choice but by mandate. Forced selling into a market with less liquidity is going to create more selling action and more liquidations and more badness. And that's where the fear stems from with MicroStrategy, is people dumping the stock. I think the fear is slightly unfounded, being that if they were to dump the stock, the NAV premium would go negative, and if the NAV premium on MicroStrategy went negative, you're better off buying MicroStrategy stock than you are buying Bitcoin, because the value of the stock, you would have more Bitcoin per purchase of stock than what you would get if you were to just buy Bitcoin. Now, this has happened before, it's happened in the past. It's when you get FUD around MicroStrategy, it creates opportunity, but the FUD generally hits like mid-bull market, which gives me a lot of confidence that we're nowhere near the end of this amazing uptrend. People out here right now saying that, you know, you gotta boycott JP. No, you don't. It's just businesses attacking businesses to make money. Let them do what they've got to do. Go back to the topic of making money. Jerome Powell today has been speaking, and he said something absolutely wild. He's the Fed chair, and he said today, Bitcoin is like gold. It's just like digital gold.
People use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold.
Do you understand what this means? This is honestly the best news ever. There is no better news in this industry right now. Both sides of the aisle in politics in the US are agreeing that Bitcoin is digital gold and it's just like gold and is actually more scarce than gold. And that means that if Trump were not to win the next election in the US, which, you know, 50-50 doesn't really... It means that if the next party came in, they would also probably be likely to be very pro-Bitcoin because everyone is viewing it in the same way. No one would want to damage the future of the financial industry in America. Because the fear is that if you were to have a change of government, one of the next ones would be very anti-Bitcoin. But Jerome is pretty anti-Trump, and he's seemingly pro-Bitcoin. Gold has got a $28.2 trillion market cap. Bitcoin has got a $1.7 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is less than 10% the size of gold. But it's 100% more useful than gold, because if I want to sell you some gold and you're in India and I'm in England, or I'm in Thailand and you're in Jamaica, I can't, but I can send you Bitcoin. Or if you're a poor person in a poor country and you need a savings account but you can't get a bank, you know that you can safely put your money in Bitcoin if you can't access safe gold storage. But the news today gets even better. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said there won't be a recession in 2026.
Big picture, is the country at risk, the entire country at risk of being in a recession?
No, I am very confident about 2026, because what we are going to see is the president has done peace deals, tax deals, and trade deals, but one big, beautiful bill. And to go back to affordability, affordability has two components. So it's price of goods and real incomes. So under the one big, beautiful bill, especially for working Americans, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, auto deduction.
Now, I honestly would be pretty shocked if he'd have answered, yeah, you know, I think that the whole market's going to collapse and I think that everything's going to get really depressing really quickly. That would have been a much more hilarious answer, but the markets would have gone, foot bam. So I understand why he said what he said, but also it's nice to hear just some positivity, guys. It's nice, good news. It gets even better because multimillionaires and billionaires reported on by Altcoin Daily today. Look at this story. It's pretty mad. Ultra millionaires, billionaires, whatever. They're all buying more Bitcoin. Tiger 21 founder reveals the ultra wealthy are doubling their crypto exposure. It's the most talked about thing in asset in billionaire culture right now, apparently. Just listen to this.
As I say, crypto coming up a little. That's the one that, even though it's only 2%, that's the most talked about asset right now.
Tiger 21 is a private invite-only networking group for ultra-high net worth individuals, and it releases quarterly reports on where its members are holding their assets. According to the third quarter data, members are putting their cash to work, favoring private equity, and they're also increasing their crypto holdings. Here to talk more about the report, Michael Sonnenfeld, Tiger 21 founder and chairman.
First of all, we have a risk-on portfolio across our 1,700 members, 250 billion. One of the things that's going on is crypto has recently doubled over the last year from about 1% to 2%. That may not seem like a lot, but when you're talking about 250 billion, that's $5 billion of crypto.
And when you put it like that, this man is talking about $250 billion portfolio where $5 billion is currently in crypto, and that could increase again to $10 billion. These are big numbers. This is very bullish. These people are continually buying the dip. Something else that I keep looking at is Asta, by the way. I keep seeing like random posts on Twitter from bots or whatever, but this is one of those. But $1.14 seems decent. Like this, in theory, is going to be backed by Binance and could be the next BNB. You never know. Either that or it's going to be a road trip to zero, but I can't see it. Back to the news. Peter Schiff, Bitcoin is nothing like gold. Schiff says gold is up 50% because it's a real safe haven asset, not like Bitcoin, he added. Bitcoin's scarcity is just a marketing gimmick. Now, I'm not going to play this. I think the guy's a knob, and I think people that platform him, like Coin Bureau, should be questioned. Crypto Arrows is someone that I don't have a problem with, was reporting today that O'Leary says the next act will flood Bitcoin with capital, and I completely agree. Listen to this.
I love the idea of innovation. The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined and regulated, Katie bar the doors, $1 trillion will come and index that asset.
Although what we're having right now is a relief bounce and it could see lower. For me, the level of which I expect Bitcoin potentially could get to is about $72,000. At the very lowest, I don't hope it'll get there, and I'm not betting it'll get there, but it could potentially. It's not got that low, and it can kind of loop upwards and then one more smash down, kind of destroy everyone's day kind of situation. But I really don't think we're going to see any long-term bearishness out of all of this. Just look at what the US government's saying. Like, I've got a few clips here from Trump, and Trump has been opening his mouth non-stop, like yapping away. These statements that he makes are crazy because we couldn't imagine 5 years ago you had a president saying stuff like this. It's mad.
Pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. And under the Trump administration, this is only going further. You're going to do really well. I mean, I'm so proud of what you've done in the last couple of years. And
did you hear that? Trump said he's proud of me. He's proud. Not only is Trump proud of me, but he also loves me. And he loves Bitcoin. And just watch this.
I became a fan of crypto, and to me it's an industry. I view it as an industry, and I'm president. And we've dominated that industry. It's a big industry, by the way. In fact, when the stock market went down recently, crypto and Bitcoin and all of that went down much less than anybody else as a group. And we've created a very powerful industry, and that's much more important than anything that we invest in. We invest in it, but really that was an industry that wasn't doing particularly well. I got involved with it a couple of years ago. It's become amazing. I mean, it's the jobs that it produces, and I notice more and more you pay in Bitcoin. I mean, people are saying it takes a lot of pressure off the dollar.
I don't know how anyone could be bearish. I just don't get it. What? Are we watching the same life, guys? Like, open your eyes. The president likes Bitcoin. And you're wanting to bet against that? Are you insane? The man has control over the dollar, which means he has control over stablecoins. He sees stablecoins as a solution to fix national debt, which means that they're going to inflate stablecoin supplies over the next 2 years so significantly. If you inflate stablecoin supplies, where do you think all that money gets spent? In an economy that doesn't accept crypto. People just buy more crypto. And so is this on that note that we have to finish off today's news by talking about what is going on with the prices, what is going on with the challenge. You can see here the equity on the account is currently set at $28,769. This is for the 10K to a million challenge. So close to my take profit now. That'd be lovely if that one triggered. Now, the other thing to point out here is, of course, Bitcoin price. Now, I drew that line a few seconds ago, but there are several different things. I don't want to be plotting out like future paths in theory. Instead, I want to show you what I think is a realistic break of the level would result in a realistic result, because ultimately we are now starting to struggle with the downside level of here. Now, that's $89,000 on Bitcoin. If we were to load up the Ethereum chart here, and we were to look at those levels that Ethereum is now going to start to struggle with, those levels on Ethereum are pretty much exactly where we are. Now, my level that I'm trying to take profit at is in the next zone above, which is in the $3,000 range. And in the $3,000 range, we're probably not going to get there today, unfortunately. I think it might take a little bit more time, but I think we're looking pretty decent, you know. This is starting to form off like a rounding bottom kind of pattern here. And if you go back over to the price of Bitcoin, this rounding off pattern is just looking quite attractive to me. You see it in the range. We've been dropping down for ages, and it's $120. And we could start probably looking at plotting some levels of resistance on the chart, assuming that we're having a bit of a trend change here, assuming that we break through $89,200. In theory, the next level above, the next big target is going to be somewhere around here, around $95,000. And a break of 95, well, bull market's back on, baby. I just feel like overall, now we've been absolutely correct. The past few weeks just banging off. It's been great. But if I'm to tell you what I expect is going to happen now, just as a general thing, based off of a bunch of research and staring at a screen all day, Bitcoin is probably somewhere near the top of the range right now. So we're probably going to loop back around. So we drop down 1-2%, just another little stab downwards, pump upwards, then big drop downwards, and then back to normal. Now, how does that look on a chart? If I was to draw the arbitrary line that I said that I wouldn't draw, we go up, just touch that line, down a little bit, back up, break the line, maybe get as high as 96,000, and then it's one more test of a level like that before inevitably. That, for me, I think is one of the most realistic scenarios. Now, that is on a half-an-hour chart. So that would take us in this scenario like this down to Friday. So that would be this week. And there's a series of events for a week. Seems like it's the kind of thing that Bitcoin would do. Like, give you a bit of money and then take it all away again and then give it back. For me, the coins that I'm most interested in trading right now is Solana and Ethereum, and mainly because from an altcoin perspective, both of them are insanely cheap right now. Solana has come down from $250 and is currently sitting at $137, right at the very bottom of the range. If you're not buying the bottom of the range, why are you even here? What is the point of you being an investor if you're not going to invest? You have to buy dips in this game. That's what people are doing. We'll get some relief, and the target for Solana has become $164 to sell. On that note, guys, if I've said something useful or you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like on it. Let's get 1 billion likes. I'm excited about the market at the moment. I'm excited about the future of it because I don't want the market to recover instantly, and I don't think a lot of people want the market to recover instantly. I want some time. I want to spend some time in this range here. $130, $140, $150 Solana. It's nice. Gives us a lot cheaper. It makes it easy because I earn a lot of money from trading. So when we're trading, because I use Stonksy, when I'm using Stonksy, we print cash. Every day we just print cash out of his ass. Every single day. Now, if you want to trade, use the link for WEEX in the video description and get a massive deposit bonus of 50%, as well as up to $30,000 worth of bonuses and a 25% fee discount. But on that note, guys, thank you all for watching. Drop a like, subscribe. See you in a bit. Ciao.